It's Madden NFL 23. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Eagles and the Commanders coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
Bronco switch, Bronco switch. Roll, hey, check that.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The numbers for Sanders last week, 24 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Hurts throwing complete to Smith. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle 1st down. And Rivera scowling down on the sideline, and he's thrown out the red challenge flag.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So for Ron Rivera, challenging that call turns out to be the right decision. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Well, this defense for the Eagles very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Winston Johnson, your connection there for the Commander first.
First down catch there by Jahan Dotson. You get the sense watching him that his ascent is only just beginning. More catches, yards, and touchdowns every year at Penn State, and played his way into the first round. A tremendous athlete, he also runs routes with great intelligence.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago.
14 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
A key component of his team's offense. He will certainly stay in that role if he keeps producing like this each week. Expect him to make a run at not only matching, but exceeding those numbers as this one goes on.
Complete out to Sink. The ball comes out. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. Here's Hurts to throw.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Throwing is Hurts.
It's caught. Beckham.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders.
Oh, what a juke into space. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Miles Sanders, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. That time a 6-play drive, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz over the middle, complete to Samuel. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Wentz finding McLaurin there for the Commanders first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Straight ahead, Gibson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained Drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Gibson again. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Wentz now to throw. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset, he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Here's Gibson.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A big game here for Carson Wentz. He mostly got cheers. Some boos smattered in when he was announced before the game, but 35-32-1 was Wentz in his 5 years as the Phillies starter. His best year, well, you remember that one, 2017, finished third at MVP voting, but a knee injury ended his season late and opened the door for Nick Foles to carry the Eagles to a Super Bowl title. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Wentz now on first down.
Throw right side complete to Dotson.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now Gibson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Wentz going to throw. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And they'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Brian Robinson Jr.
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him.
And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to go to the back cut.
Hey, you turned into a hawk of a DB, though. Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wentz. That's out to the flat for Gibson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 16 more on that one and another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A run here for J.D. McKissick. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll very wisely
easily take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Another run with Sanders. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Now, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here is Washington now to take over. You think back to last week, they dropped that game to the Detroit Lions. Now they're trying to make amends here as they've got the football and the lead. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their own 44. On play action, Wentz. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Play action. Now Wentz. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders.
And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Hurts.
Over the middle to Smith.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 27, Hurts. Flush to his right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He delivers another to Goedert, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the second quarter. A touchdown there for Alvin Kamara. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Amon-Ra St. Brown up over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdown grabs. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And that game has gone to halftime with the visiting Texans out on top. Dameon Pierce, a touchdown run in that first half. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They fake the give. Now Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wentz sliding out of the pocket. And he rips that one incomplete there.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Wentz will try again on second down. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
On first down, Hurts. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoor them.
As Sanders has it poked free. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Wentz.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
A give to Gibson running right.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz.
He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
that might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Past the 20. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They will run it. It's McKissick. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
The CD, as we look at this draft class, this offense received quite a bit of help this past April. It's a group very focused on this side of the ball, particularly when you look at those early picks.
Yeah, when you look at the top of the board, it's pretty clear they wanted an immediate impact player for their offense in the first round, and they got him. Beyond that, I like how they kept adding to that unit in the rounds that followed. Those other picks, they may not all be the same type of day-one difference makers, but coach them up, and they could make a difference down the road.
Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Thomas. Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
This taken in at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And he's got room. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
78 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Another run here with Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Bronco switch. Roll.
They run with Sanders off the option. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 16. The Sanders has got it complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it.
The Washington offense set to take over again.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's Samuel, caught left side. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz, and Thomas has it. 2 yards on the pickup there, and now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he finds McLaurin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
They'll try the left side with Gibson.
And a solid run down inside the 30.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. He's got Turner, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Touchdown!
Logan Thomas,
His first touchdown of the new season.
and the Commanders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Throwing is Hurts.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and lead the game out that way.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
It's caught by Sanders. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Hurts.
Over the middle here to Brown.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it. Unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On 2nd and 15 now.
Hurts.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's go. Get it now. Back.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Caught by Turner. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. So a victory here for the Commanders. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really started to come in sync. So for the Commanders, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.